Hey everybody, Glitch Reaper here again with Enderman of Doom. So, yep, we're on. We're live.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Engender Mod showcase. And today we are doing the first part of the tier fives. We are doing the ones that are not considered bosses, but that are not considered bosses, but would be considered instead either powerful supporters or mini bosses.
Yeah, this is where you're getting into some pretty hefty territory here, including some things that
Also,
even in their normal forms are considered boss killers, like an Iron Golem. Yeah, that's here in Tier 5.
yeah, might have been wondering where the Iron Golems were. All these tiers. Iron Golem is placed squarely in tier 5, mainly due to their insane health in regular Minecraft compared to everything else in the game. Early on, Iron Golem has the highest HP you'll find until you reach the bosses. It's 100. Of course, it's
Yeah.
going to be tier 5. Anything that is tank, very powerful for its own reasons, or a boss will be tier 5.
The samurai agrees. Yeah, I'm a Dreadium Samurai right now, in case anybody's
And
wondering what's up with this.
again, the reason why the killer rabbit is only tier 4 and not tier 5 is because it only has 10 health. If it had more, then it would be in tier 5, like the others that are like the other high HP or high damage or highly useful tiers.
Speaking of useful, we have a slight correction we need to admit to. Previously, we were stating that the killer rabbit was the highest tier animal, but we have kind of a semi cameo here, semi not, because it's from story mode. We have the Eversource. It's tier 5. So,
I told
yeah.
you people. I told you people that I'd be doing things related to story mode because I believe story mode to be part of Minecraft itself.
Exactly. It's technically official, even if it's not like in like the main game. So as we go over these, I will be showing that one off. And oh wait, did I not? Oh yeah, yeah, I grabbed that because that's gonna be left on its own for a while. In fact, I might want to put this one up too temporarily because we're gonna be doing these two later. So yeah. Okay, now out of the tier 5s, which one should I utilize first? Should we go with the Eversource?
Well, let us actually start with the Eversource, and there are some pretty obvious reasons as to why this one is a tier 5. So spawn in. There's a good reason why this thing sits squarely at tier 5, even though it only has 12 health.
Oh,
It's
and
not.
he's looking so royal here with his crown and his little amulet.
It is not, in fact, due to the Eversource's health or attack or anything else. In fact, it's not even a combat mob. This thing is like a chicken in the fact that you squarely use it for your base Engender Mod economy, because the Eversource lays mob spawner items.
Yeah, I just got a skeleton, speaking of which, so I have a skeleton again. Oh, he just laid out an iron golem. Well, she, maybe.
You
Shay?
can only
Yeah, there we
Shay.
go. That's proper for herms. Mac was slain by my skeleton. My
is
Eversource didn't even attack, and it's already causing collateral damage.
Well, they can't. Well, the Eversource does have a slight targeted kill aura if anything is close. It still has a bit of a punch, though it's not a heavy hitter, and it will get murdered if you let it go into combat. Though it runs really fast, so if it does get hit, you're going to see it dart, like dart
Right now, it's
everywhere.
just being casually moving around and doing things. I'm just gonna put out whatever into my army he spawns in. So I've got a baby witch, a blaze, and a skeleton in just the
You
first few
take
moments.
you take a second to show them all the things the Eversource can do. I need to go fetch myself a drink.
Okay. Now, among other things, the Eversource is a decent fighter, actually, if it comes to that. Oh, Mushroom! I needed another ride, which just ran off and attacked the slime. Thank you very, very, very much for that, Mushroom. It is a very good demo. But the Eversource can fight on its own, and when it does so, it actually gets through invincibility frames. So like the killer rabbit, it has a rapid attack, and it will do some serious damage. And Mushroom, if you do want to be here for a second. Yeah, now I can properly ride you around because I needed a new ride. Okay, so now we can go out regal. I've got a pretty good look here. I've got my old Gredium set. Even look like I'm charging. Yes, on my valiant steed, and I'm on a mushroom. So this is very red with the dread here. So thank you very much for the color matching. Okay, Eversource, whatever you lay out, I will put down. Oh, speaking of which, well, that's gonna stack. I'm gonna go over anything in Tier 5 after Enderman comes back. So, oh, sheep was slain by witch. You know, your supporters right now, Eversource, are doing a great job. You don't even need to do a thing. Although, if you happen to see something that you'd like to whack, go for it. Because I would like to demonstrate you pecking things to death. Oh, a shulker. Ah. And this is this will be default mode shulker. If I get another one, I might just say bonus. But for now, a squid. I'm sorry. I can't fully utilize this because they air drown, so I'm just gonna hold on to that squid. But still, squid. So the reason why the Eversource is so cool is you get free army members. Just your legion will grow as the Eversource just keeps laying more of them. In fact, another thing about
Alright, I'm back. I have my drink.
hello, yeah, another thing about the Eversource doing this is
Check out the crafting recipe for the fusion part, by the way.
oh yeah, and by the way, another thing about the Eversource doing this is if you hero mode him, he will lay faster. So super speedy uber chicken. Now the Eversource has an interesting fusion part for you. Remember how earlier you had to make a special monster spawner to do the fusing of these parts in the first place? You're going to need 4 of them just to make the Eversource. You're going to need a chicken completed, not a fusion part, one that you've already fused. And
This prevents you from immediately buying the fusion part using EMC because the spawner items themselves don't have EMC values.
Yeah, it's because it's tracked by an alternate type of block that's not registered, so therefore it doesn't track the file path. Now, you will need 4 of the monster spawners and 4 blocks of emerald around the chicken, and the monster spawners themselves, as a reminder, require iron bars and an emerald. So overall, although it doesn't show the price, it will be fairly expensive for you to pile all that up. I just got a polar bear. Nice. So polar bear
you can
is
get
back.
you can get any vanilla mob that is vanilla non-boss mob from the Eversource. You also can't get other Eversources.
Yeah, that's specifically blacklisted.
The specific to be more specific, the specific blacklisted things that you can't get from the Eversource are other Eversources, withers, ender dragons, portals, wither storms, and anything from any add-ons.
Yeah, now when it comes to wither storms, that's for a very good reason. Now portals is because you do it with the staff. You don't actually do so with a
Portals don't have a
item.
spawn item.
Exactly, they don't use a spawn item, so therefore they don't count. Where did my Eversource go? Ah, there you are. Nice Eversource. You came back to me.
Did someone hit it?
I don't know. I think he hit something else, whether or not he finished it. Let me check my messages here. No, he didn't finish anything off. He just kind of wandered for a little while. But he's back.
Yeah, but
She's back. She's back. Darn,
technically,
even I'm having issues with that right now.
technically, military-wise, the Eversource is the weakest in strength, but it's the strongest but it's the strongest one out of them all, due to the fact that a few of these can just make armies for you.
Yes, and now I also have a llama. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And enough with the Eversource. That's about everything to it. Next up is the next mob up is the Elder Guardian.
Oh yeah, and these things will always pack a punch.
forgot to
Did
pick
I
them
really
up.
get a baby Elder Guardian?
Eh.
Maybe?
Just
Yeah,
give it-
it's way too small compared to normal. I'm gonna heroize you and see if... Oh, yeah, that's right, you're on my head. Okay, that's not gonna be...
How cute! How cute does it look?
Very. It's about the size of a regular Guardian, which is kind of cool. It's just waggling around, going, "Hey, I'm happy to be here."
Well, and they all and also
Let me try for another one to see if I get.
courtesy of me not
Yeah.
giving up on it. I managed to get the Elder Guardian, the Elder Guardian's model to be the model of the Engender Elder Guardian instead of the regular Elder Guardian, so that it would customize depending on your situation. So it would look like a regular Guardian. If it was a baby, it would shrink to look like a baby. And if you're using the Mob Girl add-on, and if you've enabled Mob Girls, it'll switch to the Mob Girl model instead.
Which we'll again go over later. As one thing you may have noticed, immediately speaking, instead of giving a curse, it gives you a blessing, and will in fact also curse enemies.
Yeah, the Elder Guardian blesses allies and curses enemies, specifically players.
Yes, so Boon and Bane. Oh, last time. Oh, something got obliterated. It
This
was
also
a
means-
rabbit.
This also means that if there's both an allied and enemy Elder Guardian, that they'll cancel each other's blessings and curses out, with each of them giving you both haste and mining fatigue.
Yeah, that's gotta be interesting if you're on opposed sides in multiplayer. Like, hey,
And also-
we both got Elder Guardians. It's like, this means nothing. They cancel each other out. Thank you.
Now
They still have their
the
beam,
effects.
and it's explosive whenever they're
Now
heroed.
try for a second drinking a bucket of milk.
Oh, this could be interesting. Okay, bucket of milk. Nom, nom, nom. Feel nauseous for a second there for some reason.
The fact that the effects, the slight nausea is from the fact that it's supposed to be a jump scare.
I saw nausea, but well, I did see the thing do this I'm showing up thing, but I usually use that just to say, yep, it's there. Yeah, that's where I know where the line is.
You may have noticed that it happened practically immediately, and that's on purpose. If a nearby player doesn't have the effects, the Elder Guardian will apply it nearly instantly. Meaning a bucket of milk will not help satiate a curse or a blessing.
Yeah.
They'll just simply put it back on, and you'll waste some milk.
Okay.
But
Still
the Elder Guardian is quite powerful. It has the standard capabilities of the vanilla Elder Guardian. It has 80 health, so it's quite beefy, though not as beefy as others. And it does 10 beam damage, so it's a lot more.
Ooh, so it does have enhanced attack power. Nice.
And this will be a thing, and this will be a recurring thing for Tier 5 mobs. It has 24 Ghost Armor points.
It's good to know. Now, where's that?
This makes-
is that skeleton still here?
This automatically makes it a tank. However, because it's more a little bit more up close and personal than some other Tier 5s, that is noted through its 24 armor points.
Okay, I just had to grab my burning skeleton, so I yoinked him. I used the mob carrier.
Yeah, that's a new item. That's a new item too. People have been asking for a way of carrying their mobs in their inventory.
We went over it before, but this was a situation. It just seems so much more handier just to use it. Oh wow, that lobber took the blow. That lobber has so much health that he actually took a blow from my Elder Guardian at full power, and then had to get wiped out in the second one. So there's an interesting example, because for those of the fans that like nice mobs, you know, that's a pretty bulky enemy right there. So, yeah, your ultimate turret slash one of your good generals
And
is definitely
like
Elder Guardian.
Guardians, Elder Guardians will prick anything that attacks them. Though you may have noticed that the Elder Guardian is not jumping around like a maniac like regular Guardian.
True, this one mainly just likes to be chill about it. Like, I can walk on my spikes. They're so long and prickly.
Well, they use their spikes to make themselves more stationary.
And so if you've ever seen one of those times that somebody's put a camera on a tripod to take a picture, it's kind of like that, especially whenever they are aiming with their I-beam.
Though they can still bounce, and they usually do it either when they're being ridden by a player, which, yes, you can ride them.
Oh
You
yeah,
can mount
I
them. You
showed
can
that
mount.
off. I had a nice ride with my Elder Guardian.
In fact, in general, with a lot of tier 5s, you can mount them. Because who wouldn't want to ride one of these tough guys? In fact, some of them can hold multiple people on them.
Yeah. Now, the Elder Guardian, can it hold more than one or not?
No, it can't.
So
You can,
sadly enough,
hold up.
that doesn't work. Oh, I get a
Even
husk
though
back.
it's larger, you can't be mounted. You can't have more than one person. Its special attack is the same as a regular guardian. The super laser attack, essentially.
Yeah, which I have heroed my Elder Guardian as an actual adult. The baby one, on the other hand, refuses to hero because, well, they always want to get on your head instead. So they like to be all snug with their owner. They don't
Next,
like being separated.
on to the next one. The Iron Golem.
Oh yeah.
This one is a real tank.
Oh, and as you can imagine, immense knockup.
Yeah, it also depends on difficulty. If you set it to hard mode, they'll send the enemy flying to the moon.
Fly up to the moon, let 'em watch amongst the stars. They're gonna be looking down at you from Jupiter and Mars. I don't know why I decided to do Frank Sinatra, but it just
So
seemed
Iron Golems have their standard stats of vanilla Minecraft. They have 100 health, and they do 7 to 21 damage. However, unlike regular Iron Golems, it is actually affected by the strength effect.
That's nice to know. So if I can always just let my moralizer do his job here. I have a husk again, due to random eggs, or rather random spawn items. Meanwhile, my Iron Golem is trying to deliver a flower.
Yeah, they randomly give their allied players flowers, and you can actually take said flowers if you right-click the golem when it's holding a flower, and you'll get a puppy.
Aw, he does give you flowers. Thanks.
They can also be mounted. You can mount an Iron Golem, and the Iron Golem is the first mob that can carry more than one person. It can carry 2 people, one on each shoulder.
Yeah, right now I'm on the left shoulder. If you click them from one side or the other, does it prefer which one, or is that just kind of random?
Nah, there's a preference.
Okay, so the main controller will always be on the left, apparently, and that kobold just got whacked.
Yeah, the Iron Golem will automatically whack anything you walk into when you're moving.
It's funny whenever he's cheered on and you're still on his back, because then you're kind of bouncing around. It's like, yay! This has got to be the springiest freaking moment. I got it. This is just the springiest. Now, admittedly, there is one problem with riding an Iron Golem. They're very slow.
Yeah, their speed is slow. That's why they're considered tanks. They're powerful and tanky. They take no knockback. Though no tier 5 takes a knockback.
Yeah, now, admittedly, they are a tad resistant to being moved, even in vanilla, but this one is a super tank in Engender.
The main strength of the Iron Golem is to push back hordes of enemies and resist physical damage immensely. Like, you'll see it fight a horde of zombies and it'll literally take no damage, or like 1 point of damage every like 10,000 hits. Because they're so tanky and heavy. Their main weakness is frickin' witches, or anything that does magic damage.
Yeah, they will corrode right through them. Another thing to note is that
magic
you're
damage
still tanky
ignores
for another
armor.
reason, and that's that most Engender mobs have regen automatically, kind of. They do repair their own health. So, the fact that very few enemies will actually damage an Iron Golem in the first place, coupled with natural healing, means it will take a long time before your Iron Golem goes out. Now, getting the spawn point for... darn it. Getting the spawn items for either of these, I need to go over those again now.
By the way,
for the Elder
best...
Guardian, it is super, super, super expensive. Like, really, really expensive. It does not involve an egg at all. It involves
Tier
4
5s,
blocks
few
of
Tier
emerald.
5s do. Few Tier 5s do.
Okay, so that's an interesting illustration of the point. This one requires 4 blocks of emerald, 4 sea lanterns, and a sponge. So yeah, you're probably gonna have a really good time making this one, but it'll be worth it because of the raw power
It used
of
to
the
actually
Elder
be
Guardian.
a lot cheaper than that. The Elder Guardian used to only cost a block of emerald, surrounded by prismarine,
But you have updated the recipe, so now,
Now
it's
it
a bit more
requires
expensive.
sponges. So you do need to at least take one trip to an ocean monument, either kill the Elder Guardians within or find the sponge room.
Which is a trick in and of itself, because sponge rooms I've always had bad luck with. Intermittent of Doom here has not. He seems to find them frequently. So usually
once I found
almost the only
2.
way I've ever really gotten a sponge whenever I've done it in survival is to take out an Elder Guardian. So yeah,
In
good luck with that.
In fact, once I explored a structure, it had 2 sponge rooms.
Oh my gosh, you are definitely way
found-
luckier than I am with those.
I found them
now,
both.
Getting
The main issue I found, and I discovered this, is that sometimes the sponge rooms are sealed off completely from the rest of the monument. There's no way in, so you have to like dig your way through. After you take out the guardians, just dig like nuts with a water breathing potion with
So I
Ace
may
5.
have missed a few,
Wait.
apparently,
Yeah,
if they're just
You
weren't
probably
visible.
did. You probably did. Though it might not be your fault, because sometimes the monuments don't even generate them.
True, that is also what might be my luck. I'm just not sure at this time whether I've missed them or they just weren't there. But yeah,
Now
to
for
get
the-
the iron
now the
golem
iron-
apart, we need 4 blocks of emerald again, 4 blocks of iron, and a pumpkin, kind of like you were building the iron golem, only adding some emerald blocks. That's for the fusion part. And speaking of fusion parts and the fusion process, how long does it take to get these guys to fuse up?
For an Elder Guardian, it's 8 minutes and 33 seconds.
Okay.
And for an Iron Golem, it's 10 minutes.
Okay. What about
You'll
the
have to wait.
Eversource?
Eversource, I actually forgot to put its information on the forums. I'll have to do that tonight.
Oops. Well, you did kind of add it new, so.
I added new, and I also rushed the process. I think it's the same time as an Iron Golem, if I'm correct. Yes, the same. Yes, 10 minutes. It's 10.
Okay, so
It
that
takes
happens.
takes 10 minutes to fuse the Eversource. All right, next mob.
Okay. We
The
only have
four-
a couple more here that aren't technically
The
bosses.
Skeleton Horseman.
Oh yeah, as you could imagine, getting these isn't really as... well, it's a little bit different than normal because you do need the fusion parts for skeletons. For those, you need 4 saddles and a block of emerald. And remember, these skeleton fusion parts will be an arrow, a bone, and an egg each. Now, the reason why the skeleton horseman has 4 of those items each is because you get 4 of them every time you spawn them in. This also goes with the
So 4 horsemen.
yeah, it is literally the 4 horsemen, the apocalypse. So here we go.
Their skeleton types will actually depend on where you spawn them. You may get wither skeleton horsemen. Spawn them in snowy biomes, you may get stray horsemen. And if you enable cute mob models, then you'll get skeleton horse girls.
Yes.
Or skeleton horsewomen.
Yeah, so you will have skeletal riders of various types depending on where you spawn them in.
And
So you may want to
sometimes
hold
they
on
can-
to this item for a special moment.
And sometimes they can be babies, and it looks ridiculous because the baby is for some reason right in the rib cage of the skeleton horse.
I
For
don't
some
think I
reason.
got any this time. Well, I got a small horse, but that's a small horse. Okay, it's just my angle, never mind. But anyhow, they seem to all be fine this time. I don't think I had a miniature version this round. But I do have the 4 horsemen. Now, one of the reasons why they're so big here being in Tier 5 is because the extra agility added by these skeletal horses is just amazing.
Also the fact that it spawns 4.
Yes,
But it
that
spawns
too.
4. because in vanilla Minecraft there is the skeleton trap, which
Yes.
which when you get near to it will strike itself with an ambient bolt of lightning that does no damage to anything. That spawns in the 4 horsemen.
Yeah, that lightning is just for show, but it does automatically create 4 skeletal horsemen every single time. So,
By the
going
way,
along with the theme of vanilla doing
by the way,
4, so there
in
you go.
regards to their equipment, their helmets and their bows act like that they were enchanted to level 50
Oh wow, so heavy
with
enchantment.
with treasure enchantments. So every now and then you'll get So every now and then the helmets or bows may be cursed, or they may
that
have
reminds
bending.
me, you need to mention their special functions when it comes to undead and cursed equipment.
Yes, and why don't you actually show that for them by starting to take off their stuff, like taking their stuff away.
Okay, let's see what this one does. He automatically gave himself that. Okay, oh, this is just a regular iron helmet that's enchanted. It doesn't have, like, special enchants. He gave himself a leather hat automatically. Okay, let's see if I can take your stuff. Okay. Oh, he also has his bow that survived. Let's see here. Power 4 and Unbreaking 3. Not bad. Got a Protection 3 helmet. Okay, what about you? I don't need your boots. I'm checking the enchantments on your stuff. Okay, this bow has Power 4. It always gives them some other stuff later.
Did you seriously take all their stuff and nothing happened?
Not yet. I think there's another one I haven't done. Let me see. That one, or maybe the other one doesn't even have anything past leather, because normally they spawn with better stuff. Okay. I think they didn't have a single cursed item. Or wait. Here's the 4th. We have a chance. Okay. We have a chance. The bow is Power 3, and the helmet is Protection 3 and Unbreaking 3. Really, there was no treasure, enchant, or curse.
Okay, get rid of them. Get rid of them with a kill command.
Okay.
Spawn them in again. They need to know. That
I'll need to get... Okay, instruct me the exact command, because I know these are very specific.
They need to know what happens when you try taking something with vanishing or binding.
Yeah, it's kind of special. Okay, kill at E, and then let me see. Is it the brackets to get type?
Square brackets.
Okay, square bracket. Type. It's space equals or straight up equals. Okay, so I need to press that harder to the Okay. Okay, square bracket, type, oh darn, I need that message. Equal, I think, if I do this right, please let me do this right this time. I've had issues in the past. Haha, it succeeded. Okay. Good news, bad news. We have no more Engender mobs in the vicinity. So I can continue specifically on others, and they're also no longer yelling at me whenever they're cheering.
You want to know a neat thing? If a mob is given a diamond and then you take the diamond back from the mob, you will if you have the capability of gaining it, you will gain the achievement diamonds to you.
Ah, okay. So you can get the diamonds. And I've also recharged the 4 horsemen because I'm still trying to steal their stuff and see if anything goes right or wrong. Now, the thing about this is because of the variability in health, in all likelihood, whenever the skeletal horses spawn in, they won't have their full health, but they will regenerate up to it because they are Engender mobs. So that's kind of a specialty.
No, they're actually regular skeleton horses, and they do spawn with their full health. They spawn with maximum capable stats, which is 53 health. So
why
they're
was
tough
it showing
horses.
them regenerating? Was it looking at the skeletal horseman instead, or is there something else around here helping?
I don't know. Guess it
I
doesn't
don't
matter
think it's
since
my armor. I don't think
I
it's my
guess-
armor.
I guess it doesn't matter since they're regenerating up to their full health.
Okay, that one did not have anything specifically.
Also, that would not be the fact that they're engender mobs. It would be the fact of that they're being ridden by skeletons, and the skeletons are doing that.
Oh, they're assisting. Flame and Infinity. That's an interesting pairing. Blast resistance and unbreaking 3. Please, I just want to show what happens whenever you do this. I'm having like the worst luck with these. Oh, wait, that's good. Okay. That shows they can have treasure enchants because that bow has mending.
Yes, and curses cast treasure chance actually.
That is weird how that works, but yes.
Well, it's to prevent them from being enchanted onto your item with an
Yeah,
enchanting
you
table.
cannot directly enchant something to have a curse. It must, yeah, I figured that was going to happen. Because I've been taking their stuff. They're fighting an Enderman. Some of them don't have stuff because I've been taking it, so good luck.
You're mailing it.
This skeleton horse is like, why did this have to happen? Why? I mean, seriously, this horse is so upset by this.
There's nothing seriously happening.
Okay, that just a protection. Really, I haven't had a single cursed object yet.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Seriously, we've done this before, and usually the luck is way different. Where like happens like all the time. But this time, no, they're not really feeling it. And this poor skeletal horse is just so upset.
Mr. Unlucky, Mr. Unlucky is finding himself deductee.
Hey, they're normally supposed to be automatically tamed. Why are you not moving? Is it something in my, you know, I was having this issue with the derpy squid before. Maybe it's something, I might have to see if, oh, I just don't have a saddle. Okay. Fair enough. So never mind that. I just didn't have a saddle. Hey, you. I just need a ride. Okay. Oh, so many of them have been destroyed by that one Enderman who just wrecked them all. Because, again, they weren't demonstrating the stuff. So, well, that we wanted to demonstrate. So
anyways, they're outclassed. Even though together they're a tier 5, they're outclassed by something that dodges arrows 100% of the time.
Yeah, they're like, this guy is just like, nope, can't catch me by. They are dashing around like crazy.
This is our cue. This is our cue then to move on to the next mob, the giant. Spawning a giant to crush that Enderman.
Just trust us, folks, on the skeletal horsemen. They can have.
This is a general thing about all mobs. Depending on what curse they have, if you take something from them that has the binding curse, they will take cramming damage. They will take 10 cramming damage from it.
But you'll get the item off them when normally it would not be able to be off. So if you have the ability to remove curses from another mod, that can be handy. That can be handy for very high level gear. Now it's time for crushing. There's also a creeper that's about to get kicked.
And if the mob has something that, and if the mob is carrying something that has the curse of vanishing on it, the item will disappear from existence forever.
Yeah, it just goes poof, and you're like, oh, it had that curse. So that still works on them. This giant is just stomping now. But yeah, to get yourself a giant fusion part.
I almost forgot to mention, though this will play into the giant as well since they have the same hero special attack. Iron Golems have the seismic slam special attack, though the giant also has it, so we'll get to see it. They're basically copies. It's just that the Iron Golems is less powerful.
Did I not get the one for the giant there?
The giant is less powerful. The giant has amazing stats all around. It is the tank.
Oh yeah. Let me see. I think I may have missed one in the fusion parts here.
They have the standard statistics, and do believe me when I say this, 100 health and 50 damage.
Yes. Now getting the fusion part requires 4 rotten flesh, 2 blocks of iron, 2 blocks of gold, and a block of emerald. This is partially because they've always been theorizing about what giants will have as a treasure when they come into actual service again in vanilla. I say again because they were in very old testing versions.
Yes,
So
their damage is 50 and their health is 100. So these things are massive. Though that does play a disadvantage to them, as they're considered to be massive, and anything that does bonus damage to massive will annihilate them.
yeah, so basically when Titans and Engender finally get playable together, guess what's going to happen? Giants are going to take massive bonus damage from anything that still has that function. I'm trying to get your hitbox, please.
Well,
Giant.
and
I'm trying to
also
write on you. I
in
know
the
that I can
Engender
write.
mod, you'll also note this about giants, and the fact that you'll hear a very loud crushing sound
Oh, yeah.
when they take significant damage.
I know I can mount a giant. It's because of the hole.
Right click its legs
I'm trying. That's what I'm doing. I think there's grass in the way.
to
Grass?
reduce it. Break the glass. Break the grass.
Breaking grass. Yes, lots of grass coming from. Whee! Haven't been able to get him to cheer. Oh, now he's Turbo Giant. Well, that was interesting. I cheered him on and he just ran out and just stomped like 10 mobs.
Giants are very powerful and tanky. They can be mounted on, and they can carry 3 people. One on the head and 2 on each one on each shoulder.
Trust us on this because I'm having an issue mounting the giant. You might want to try this version and see if you can get this on a super flat, because I'm on super flat right now. I'm trying to click on the giant's legs, or feet, or somewhere, and it's not mounting. I'm not able to ride on my giant.
Dude, are you hitting the very base of their feet?
Yes. I'm trying to get them as low as I can in all sorts of angles, but it's just not working. This is a problem. I know that you were... I saw you do this. I saw you get the new mounting system to work in testing. I know it should work. Because, in fact, I saw you writing one. You were doing that whole ghost player thing, and you literally had 3 of you writing a giant at the same time. So I know it can work. It's just
It
not
still
feeling
works. It still works. I'm in my workspace right now, and I just got onto my newly spawned giant.
Maybe play it in actual Minecraft, because I know we've had this problem before with workspace versus Minecraft itself. I'm right-clicking like crazy. This is definitely my giant. It's just not doing it. Seriously, what is up with that?
I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know. Okay, I'm gonna hero mode this giant and see if it does it. I can click it to hero it, but I can't click it to ride. Yeah, really giant? That's how it is. Okay, I'm going to just walk around and whatever you see you can destroy. Because I want to see this big hero mode smash. So
Yeah,
giant
called
mode smash.
seismic slam. Jumps into the air and stomps on the ground, causing damage to all enemies in 64 blocks. The Iron Golems is less powerful. It only deals damage to things within 32 blocks.
Okay,
And
so Iron Golem has same hero mode.
it's the same special attack, just less powerful. Giants. The giant, on the other hand, when it does this attack, everything gets mutilated by it.
Yeah, I just
Mauled.
landed next to like within about 30 blocks of a cow, and as soon as my giant teleported in, whoomp, cow gone.
And just to say, the damage is 50 to mobs, 25 to everything else. Like monsters, as in standard monsters. 50 to monsters, 25 to everything else. It's basically just very powerful, and it's also explosion damage. So that's why you would get the death message. Mob blew up.
Yeah, I realized that I probably shouldn't be using a skeletal horse as a ride because it's not an Engender version, it's just a skeletal horse. So those explosions will destroy my mount after a while. Yeah, that can happen. Okay, do we want to move on to the Evoker now?
Well, why don't you... Well, before we do that, and also not the Evoker has lots of things to it.
Oh,
before
yeah,
we
yeah,
move on
it's very
to it.
complicated.
Or... Actually, Evoker is the next one, but let's show the giant in action doing what it does best, and that is dealing with hordes. Just spawn in a whole bunch of things, like, I don't know, maybe regular zombies or creepers or just something. Lots of mobs.
I'm voting something abyssal. Nope, not that. That's a boss. That's a totally different story.
Give it Saxoth.
He does have a horde after he dies, so that is true. Oh, see him smashing in the background. Well, that happened. Okay. I'll throw in a Saxoth and see how things go. So, yeah, meet Saxoth, Harbinger of Doom. And just... My army is going nuts. The giant is trying to stop him, or at least get close. But he's probably going to have to use hero attack just because... there we go. Oh, he sent him flying. Oh! Saxoth somehow managed to land right back at the zombie and using his shadow grip. Impressive, but it will be futile because Saxoth is getting sapped very quickly. And there he goes. Now, all Engender mobs have special AI when it comes to certain things, including dying bosses, because some of them have last shots, like Saxoth, where he creates an army. Some have last shots where they... Just a moment. There we go. Hey, where'd my giant go? I thought my sneaking would have brought him... Oh, he is coming. Okay, but anyhow, some of them have last shots where they self-destruct and destroy an area, so... Yeah...
Just a heart.
Yeah, he destroys everything. So, thank you, Giant. Thank you. That's what we needed. That's exactly what we needed. We needed just a big, honking whack of destruction that obliterated everything. See, they are really good at crowd control. Like, really, really good at crowd control. So, yeah. Like... Even after my other allies were trying to take down that army of darkness, the big thing that did it was my giant just jumped in and whacked them all. Oh, I need to I almost forgot, because I summoned Saxoth, he changed the time to night. Oops. Yeah, I forgot about that little detail. Because he's a Harbinger of Darkness, he brings it with him. So, yeah. Hero Stomp attack. Everything flies. Huh. That's interesting. There's a Strider that came out of a little bitty pond, and then it went flying out of it. Bye, Strider. Yeah. So we have seen the giant in action in his native habitat. Darn lips. Needed to hydrate more. In his native habitat.
You clearly don't drink enough.
Probably, but I think it's just because we have a very dry winter around here, and it is seriously dehydrating me. So I definitely need to keep some more water on hand again. That would be a good thing to remember.
You're just a wuss.
Well, how dry is it up there in Canada? Pretty dry?
No, I'd say it's very snowy instead.
Yeah, you see, I deal with the dryness, you deal with the snow. It's totally different. Similar, admittedly, because of cold, but other than that, no. Anyhow, maybe we should move on to the Evoker.
Yes, the Evoker is actually the last non-boss tier 5. This one has the most to it. This one has the most to it. It is actually physically one of the weaker ones. It's the Evoker has the general stats. Has the general 24 health, so it's for a tier 5 it is a lightweight. Even though it has 24 invisible armor points, that still doesn't mean that it'll survive long in a melee combat with something with a tank like a giant or an iron golem.
Or the other things they do make them unbelievably good. Because of this, I also have to show that the confusion part represents that fact in being tricky to get, because yeah, as with some others, you'll be fighting them before you get them. So that'll take 4 blocks of emerald, 4 dark oak wood, because of what a woodland mansion is made out of, and a totem of undying. So think of that cost.
You need to kill an Evoker to get an Evoker.
Well, it's not just that, you're also giving up an extra life. So yeah, that's pretty powerful. Now I've hero moded this guy already, so
An extra
Oh, it's a
life.
Jeb sheep. He made a Jeb sheep. That's pretty cool.
Jeb sheep have laser beams. Invisible
Oh, no.
laser beams, because of course a laser without help without aid is invisible.
Yeah. So Jeb sheep happened. So yeah, we need to go into all the crazy things.
They do also have eight. They do also have eight damage, which translates to a lot of their attacks. They're slow in their speed. Like they don't need to move fast. A lot of their attacks have very far range. And oh boy, do they have a lot of attacks. They have a lot of spells. They are the spellcasters, the wizards.
Yeah, and they have been improved since I used one in a mob battle before. So
They have
a lot more fancy stuff.
They have even more spells now.
Oh yeah, before using an Evoker girl was awesome.
And now it's even more awesome because they have more spells to use against their enemies.
And he also proved one of his special abilities, converting other mobs. He converted a cow for me.
Like a monk. Wooloo.
Yes, and as you can see, chucking explosive fireballs is one of the spells, as well as the classic Evoker Fangs attack, which is impressive. And also can go through the air, unlike normal. Vexes will starve to death if they're summoned by one.
That happens in regular Minecraft too.
Except you don't normally see it because usually you don't have death messages for regular mobs, so whenever he first saw that, he's like, wait, is that how it really happens? He looked into the code, and it is actually how they time out. They actually starve to death.
I copy and pasted the Vex codes without looking at first, but then I saw the message Vex starved to death. I'm like, what? That's how they die?
Yeah,
and then I looked.
As a default feature of Engender, death messages are turned on for everything involved in Engender mobs, whether they are being killed by them or they are themselves being killed, with all the appropriate death messages. So when he saw Vex starve to death, it's like, what?
The death messenger never lies.
Exactly, it always tells the truth, folks.
Vex starved to death. And I looked at the code for regular Vexes. As it turns out, the way that they time out is that they starve to death.
Which makes them legit the only vanilla mob to actually deal with hunger at all. So, yeah, it kind of makes you think on that one.
I guess starvation damage is like used as a timeout damage form. It's like if you want a mob to timeout, you use starvation damage. They're like. They can't stay in this realm for much longer. So the Evokers...
for some odd reason, that plane of existence doesn't support them, and without the energy of wherever they're summoned from, they just die. It's like they're like, oh, can't go on. The hunger is too great. And they just kill over dead.
And then the Evoker just spawns him more.
He's like, I can always replace him. But yeah, they convert, anytime they convert a mob, it is to your side, so they act as a walking conversion wand.
Yes. They also have the regular Evoker spells. They have Vex summoning, as you may see. They have the Fangs attack, which is an attack that they use, which is the spell that they use if none of the other ones are decided upon. It's like the fallback standard spell that they use anytime.
Oh,
they
in
also
addition
have
to their version that tracks through the air, they can use a much bigger version of the defensive rings version, so it's pretty impressive whenever a bunch of things crowd around them.
Next to the Evoker. Spawn something next to the Evoker to entice it to do that.
Oh, you mean spawn in another Evoker that's wild?
No, it'll convert that. Spawn in something to fight. I don't know, maybe an army of zombies. Army of husks.
How about 5 Sackcloth?
They'll kill. They might kill it. We want testing.
But then there's
not,
the army from all of them. Think of that.
We want testing, not mob battles. Spawn in a horde of husks.
Okay,
that's easy. That's the way I do it.
Oh yeah, husks would be great to spawn in this way. Because
Spawn
they
it
don't
all
burn in
around.
sunlight, so okay, line of husks starting. Oh, powerful beam. Electrocuted by Evoker. That was the lightning beam. Yeah, it has extra spells now, including a lightning-like beam,
The Evoker
disintegration beam.
the Evoker has various spells that stem from D&D, including Firebolt, Firebolt, Lightning Bolt, Disintegration Ray, which disintegrates anything that is equal to or less than 80 health that isn't a boss. Otherwise it does 15 armor-piercing damage. Frost Ray, which when it hits, slows the target. Poison Spray, which creates a slimy residue that hits the mobs and will inflict poison on them. Magic Missiles, which is almost death to anything to anything with low health. And also Meteor Swarm, which it only calls upon if the Evoker's a hero. It's not a special attack though.
Now, after a sheep's on your side, do they convert it to a Jeb sheep, or is that a direct conversion into a Jeb sheep? I'm wondering about that.
That has to do with the reinforcing spell, which they use on any nearby ally. They add resistance and fire resistance to the targeted mob for 3.3 minutes, along with removing all negative buffs and extinguishing burning mobs. It also has bonus effects on certain types of mobs. If it uses it on a sheep, for example, the sheep will be named Jeb _ if it doesn't already have a name.
And shall therefore be Jeb sheep, otherwise known as Disco sheep. Yeah.
But it also has other effects too. If it targets a peg, then the pig will act like it was struck by lightning and turn into a zombie pigman. If it is targeting a rabbit and the rabbit is the killer bunny, it'll turn it into the killer bunny.
Okay, so all sorts of upgrades.
And if it's
supercharging,
and if there's a creeper nearby that is not charged, it'll charge it.
Totally missed when this guy got converted for me, but he's already charged.
It also adds effects to the owner, including adding regeneration, saturation, and fire resistance for a time, as well as resistance.
Yeah, I've noticed that some effects are kind of popping in and out, like saturation popping in for a second once in a while.
Yeah, basically he's restoring he's basically restoring your resolve.
Yeah, and even 1 second of saturation will fill your hunger bar up, usually pretty much all the way. So, yeah, that's actually pretty powerful.
Yeah, if you have one of these guys in an army, then you'll never need to eat again.
Pretty much.
Or if you do feel like carrying in food, you can use it for other reasons, because some mobs will actually use it to heal themselves. But like if you put it in the offhand of a zombie, the zombie will actually eat the food if it's missing health.
Yeah, that's nice to know. So zombies can take a munch if they need to?
The effects that are removed include poison, wither, slowness, weakness, blindness, nausea, levitation, and hunger. And he will cast this on any mob that has one of these effects to remove it. He'll also automatically cast it on something that's burning to extinguish it, because he also extinguishes fire, a burning mob with the reinforcing spell.
And by the way, there's also the occasional hero mode attack I've been seeing where he brings down lightning from above that's kind of lightning rays and electrocutes anything that he can target.
Yeah, that's the hero special attack. Lightning Storm. When casting a lightning bolt spell, it instead hits every non-allied entity within 96 blocks.
Yeah, that's a really wide radius.
And he may decide to summon the Meteor Swarm at some point. Which basically
just lobbing fireballs individually, but I guess I can put in a few more husks to see if I can provoke them.
Get in some tougher things, like I don't know, maybe stick in a few Elder Guardians, which are far beefier.
True, they could take a lot more of a hit, and because we're in,
Though to note, the disintegration beam can disintegrate even an Elder Guardian.
Yeah, but at least it'll cause them to actually use it. But because we're in this particular version, we actually have spawn eggs individually for Elder Guardians. They separated out the entities at some point, and that's how that works. So we have spawn eggs. Oh gosh, now this is a melee. Well, not just melee, this is everything. Ah, disintegration beam! Elder Guardian was turned to dust by Evoker, owned by Glitch Reaper. Yes, yes. Be destroyed. Of course, there's also one serious side effect, disintegration. They leave nothing behind. So, yeah, if you're after that precious item we were talking about before, the sponge, yeah, not happening whenever that effect is. Oh, that one was electrocuted. That's a totally different story. I don't see the sponge, but that usually requires a player kill. For some odd reason, it didn't count it. I see a fish. There was a fish left behind.
A fish was left behind.
A fish was left behind, but no sponge.
Oh, because it was technically not hit by a player. It was hit by a spell.
Yeah, and I know you've changed up how they handle attacking things, so that may be because of that change. For a while, it was all extending from the player. Now it's tracked by ownership, so it's a bit of a different story.
And for the Elder Guardian to drop the sponge, the Evoker would have to either hit it with one of its extended melee attacks, like one of the fireballs or the fangs, or just run up to the Elder Guardian or itself and hit it.
Oh my god! Funny thing, some of the Elder Guardians that I summoned in saw a natural squid that spawned. It was trying to beam it to death while they were being attacked by everything else. That was awesome. He's like, really? You take your time in the middle of this gigantic battle to shoot a squid. It shows how much they really hate squid. Yeah, Skeleton got converted. But yeah, they have a ton of abilities, and I think you mentioned them all. Some of them you may have seen. Well, there is one you may or may not have. There has been a few big explosions, but I don't know who did that. It may have been him. There was some fire left behind, so that may be from him.
Believe it or not, that is actually all of the mini boss tier 5s. In the next one, we'll discuss the bosses.
Yes, that's right. And there's also something above them that requires a video in and of itself. Oh my gosh, he tamed a wild beta spider.
That's uncommon.
Yeah, that was a wild spawn. He just tamed it right there for me. Thank you, Mr. Wizard.
In fact, we may want. In fact, for easiness reasons, you may want to split. You may want to split the two bosses of Minecraft into their own videos and just give them their own titles.
Yeah, I'll probably do it Wither and Ender Dragon, and then later.
Wither and the Ender Dragon, because they've had changes. So, but for now, that is it with the Engender mod in this video.
One more note I'd like to say. I'd just like to remind you that a lot of people agree with me that you have made the best version of the Witherstorm ever, and we will be going over that as its own video. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like it is a great accomplishment in my life that I have done that.
And when we do that video, I think anybody who hasn't heard of your version yet will understand why, because it is just awesome. Yeah.
But for now, this is it in this part of the Engender mod. The next one, we'll take a look at the Wither.
Oh, I must do this with the. Oh wait, I gotta do this very special. Time set. Okay. Let's see, can this work exactly? Darn you, Dusk! You're not able to do it. I was trying to say time set Dusk, but it doesn't understand. It doesn't know how to do sunset.
Just type in time set 12,000.
Yeah, I was gonna do that, but I really thought it was just gonna, recognize it instantly.
That's a sunset.
There we go. The reason why I wanted this is because I'm a Gradium Samurai at the sunset, so I wanted to go off with that. Okay, so this has been Glitch Reaper here with Internet of Doom for the Engender Mod Author Hangout. So we'll be... Oh wow, he really wants to send off on his own. Okay, that's an announcement of we're leaving. So we hope to hear from you all later. So bye for now, everybody.
See you in the next part, people.